Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning LaLa and Eyes Up Here. We've got Lindsey Pelas in the house. Good morning, Lindsey.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are
Well,
you?
what we resist persists. So the name of your podcast, how's it going anyway?
Oh my gosh, my podcast has been a lot of fun. I'm maybe like 2 months and 12 episodes deep. I've had really interesting guests all the way from Drake Bell to some famous model friends of mine. It's been a lot of fun.
Wow.
Tell us a little bit about what the podcast is about.
So my podcast is mainly about like breaking social stigmas. So I feel like any guest and any person has a stigma about maybe what they look like or their career or something that they would maybe want to break. So I interview my guests, but we also try to keep a tone of, understanding each other a little bit better.
Well, you're a model and social media superstar. How did you break that stigma for yourself?
Oh my gosh, I'm not sure if I have broken my stigma yet, but I'm working on it. So
What do you do for that?
So I think honestly, just being honest with your audience, like I have a really fun Twitter where I say anything that comes to my mind. But even through the podcast, it's kind of meant to be like, listen to me, get to know me, and maybe let's break that stereotype through entertainment that way.
Right. I think that's what the show's done for me, quite frankly. I always thought, well, only certain people are spiritual, and like I kind of had some of that going on. And I'm not going to lie, and we've had so many incredible people, and it's so interesting. And I think it's great what you're doing. You're pushing the limits to say, let's push it out here, but look at me really. So it's like it's you're testing your audience in a great way.
And yourself in doing that.
Yeah.
Really being able to embrace your femininity, embrace your sexiness, and still say, you know what, I'm gonna have a conversation and I'm gonna break the stigma, the stereotype. Appreciate me for what I am and what I've got. However, right?
Yeah, however, listen to me for sure. And it's another thing, I'm in Hollywood. If someone's not going to give me a job, I'm going to do the job until they give me a job. So how about I like host my own show?
Exactly.
And then if you like me, you see what I've done.
That's fantastic. And that's a theme with some of my, my favorite teachers in the world, like whether they're authors or, whether they're speakers, whether they're podcast creators. Absolutely love that about you.
Thanks.
And of course, we had you on Famously Single.
Yes, I know. We've met before.
Yes.
Isn't
So,
that funny?
wait a minute. You guys work together on E?
Yeah, we had Lindsey on Famously Single. What was that, the second season?
Yeah.
Yes, for the second season. I think we're dating Callum.
I was dating Callum Best. He's a fun time.
He is a fun time.
He's
We
a
love
character.
Callum.
He's great for TV,
Yes.
for sure.
Keyword
Yes.
was dating.
Yeah, was dating. We have a big distance gap. He's in the UK, so he's over there being wild.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you like him? Was he like your favorite?
I love Callum. In
He's
fact,
fun.
he started this brand new brand, which we love. He's got journals out, and it's all about sort of living your best life and setting intentions. And absolutely love Callum. It's
That's
always,
good.
yeah.
So one of the things we love on the show is we love to hear people's trials and tribulations and how they've triumphed over us. What's some of the hardest things you've ever been through?
Oh my gosh. That's
Well,
a
she
big
just
question.
threw it right at her. Wow, Erin.
Oh my gosh. I feel like life is always a learning experience. I think the biggest thing is heartbreak. I've had my heart ripped apart. I've been, cheated on, the normal stuff. I think that is where you learn a lot of your resilience and where you get a lot of confidence, because once you overcome something, you feel a lot better and more capable. But I think
Was there a moment, because I know that it's like a very advanced classroom in life to spit you out to self-love, right? But was there an actual moment where you said, I'm not doing this anymore, and you learned that lesson?
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of those lessons for little things. Even I remember a specific moment when you say that. One comes to mind. I was 23, dating a boyfriend in Louisiana, graduated from college, and I was having dinner with him on a Tuesday night. I remember very specifically, we were watching a baseball game at a restaurant called Bar Louie. It was a really corporate chain place. And I remember asking him, does this life satisfy you? And could you do this for the rest of your life?
Oh, I love that.
I
Love that
don't know
question.
why. And he said, yeah, I'm really happy. And I'm like, I got to get out of here. And so that was a defining moment I had where I decided to move to Los Angeles with no job and no plans.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first thing that comes to mind. So I guess that was one of those really definitive moments.
And isn't that what kind of defines us in our relationship? Is like, we have to be going on the same train.
Oh, absolutely. And I think our intuition will let us know if we're going on the wrong train with someone. There are so many ways the universe kind of gives you the signs and signals to do something and to act. So that was one of those signals to act for me.
How do you maintain the faith and the confidence, like in the face of things not going your way?
Honestly, I think humans are really amazing creatures because one thing we have in common is we persevere. We're faced with a life that ends in death, and yet we still every day try no matter what. Like we know it all ends and we still try really, really hard, which is amazing. So I think that it's just that kind of existence. It's like, why not try? Am I just going to wallow in misery or failure?
Yeah.
I have one choice. For me, one choice and it's go. So
And
You've
when-
always been that way.
I've always been that way. I'm very stubborn, actually.
If your one choice
I
is
can
go,
totally
where are
relate
you
to you.
going? What is your mission? What's the vision?
So my goal, I think, in the long term, I would love to be like an international glamour girl spokesmodel, of course. But over the course of time, I'd really love to bring my talents to getting people to know each other a bit better. Even with my podcast, I like the idea of helping people understand people that may not be like them, because we live in a really polarizing climate and time. So I think a bit of understanding each other through comedy and humor and fun is a good thing. And that's what I'd like to give.
So
That's
true.
beautiful.
Such a great gift to give to the world. So who's been like, what has been maybe a couple top podcasts? People that you like were surprised by?
Oh my gosh. I interviewed Drake Bell recently. The guy has been in so many movies. He's been on Seinfeld, Home Improvement, all the way to the infamous Drake and Josh show, which was on Nickelodeon. So I'm interviewing my childhood crush.
So funny.
Yeah, which is shocking. And today I'm going to have Drama on from Robin Big. I'm really excited about Drama because he created a nearly $40 million clothing company.
Wow.
Yeah, no one, I didn't know that. I've seen him on Robin Big. So I love learning from people who have just hustled. I hope their magic rubs off on me.
Yeah. What are some of the greatest lessons you've learned from your guests?
The greatest lessons I've learned from my guests is one message that sticks out in particular, and it's hard work beats everything. So every successful person I've interviewed has said that hard work has gotten them to where they were, and there's nothing else. So yeah, just work really hard. That's what they always tell me.
So true. I can so relate to you because it's almost like, I call it the divine discontent. It's like you're constantly like going and going, and it's just something that you're born with. You can't deny it. And you're such an inspiration though, because you are just kind of this, you're this, you know, you're like a full spectrum of, you're very deep, you're very you have so much wisdom, and yet you hold this like objectifying woman thing that we women go like, who is this woman? What is she doing? And you're like, oh, there's something deeper there.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
I think it's getting people to understand too that, you know, my modeling and the things I choose to wear, that's truly what I love. And there was no intention behind it. I'm like a peacock. I love to show my like beautiful feathers.
As you should.
You know
like,
what I mean?
embrace it. Whatever you wear makes you feel like your best self. Like,
Yeah.
honor that. Rock
Yeah.
it. And if it brings out insecurities in anyone's
Right.
audience,
Oh my gosh,
that's
absolutely.
in them. That's not on you.
Exactly. And I like to be like a little bit of a show off sometimes. It's fun. You know, it's fun to watch boys squirm.
I have a feeling you watch boys squirm a lot.
Sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's like for my sick pleasure. I know, it's true. But I really would love for women to understand that it's just me. And honestly, I'm a huge softie underneath. And I'm really much more of a girl's girl than anyone would think. Yeah.
Who have been your biggest mentors?
My biggest mentors, my older sister is really smart. She probably doesn't know she's my mentor, but I really look up to my older sister. She was an amazing academic. She studied at Georgetown, and now she's a diplomat for the U.S. So that's actually what I look up to as my older sister. I don't know, but you know, I found my mentors to be interesting people like my bosses growing up. So I worked at a restaurant, and I had a really encouraging boss. I've always like really honored like a role of leadership. So like a boss has really influenced me. Maybe a trainer has influenced me. I don't know.
Yeah, I love that. I've found that myself. I mean, of course, there are teachers and authors that I just absolutely love, but I always find inspiration in almost everyone I meet.
Yeah.
Everyone's got something to share with you that you didn't know
They do.
or that you didn't think about in that way.
They do.
Yeah.
It's true. I think everyone has a bit of magic about them. So
And what about your eyes? Your eyes are so clear, they're so beautiful. How do you take care of yourself? Do you eat a particular way?
oh my gosh, I try to eat pretty healthy. I'm mostly on a vegan diet right now, but I cheat a lot. I am from Louisiana, so I like soul food. Like
Yeah.
I like naughty Louisiana food. But I also have an active lifestyle, so I work out. I love Pilates and cycling and spin and getting my heart rate up. And I try to sleep a lot. You know, we have
Sleep
this.
is so underrated.
It is, and we have a hustler mentality now. Everyone's
Absolutely.
like, wake up, let's grind. You know, stay
Totally,
awake
like 4
24/7.
hours, you're good.
Yeah, no. Like I feel like you should sleep your life away. And if you wake up at 11, my new thing is if I wake up at 11, the shift is 11 to 8. It doesn't matter if it was 8 to 4 or 9 to 5. 11 to 8 is just as many hours, and it's what my body wants to do. So I'm trying to.
Yeah, it's so important. I think that you're absolutely right. Like, and Jez, you're right. Like to rest the body and
Yeah.
also to rest the mind.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard to tap into that creativity when your mind is always going.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah.
I'd keep a journal. I feel like the journal is my saving grace.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever make that journal a book?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I have a history degree, so I knew growing up that everyone who's done anything important kept a journal. So every founding father had a journal, and I feel like it's, you know, if they all did it, let me do it and see how I turn out. I try to live my life like the people I emulate, so.
What would the title be?
Isn't that
I don't
social media?
know. Eyes up here? Eyes down here?
Stay on brand. That's good. Stay
Yeah.
on brand.
Today's the modern journal is social media, and people definitely are watching your journal. So thank you so much for all your work, and just, I mean, it's cool. So
Thank
how
you.
can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Lindsey Pelas.
Easy.
Eyes up here. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Good morning.